로 달아랍시다.
야, 니봐. 감파를 뭐지 왕이 잡고. 무이기 뜬된 발라니 스탕을 즉 바게 어디 순거다. 아, 로정터님이 당무시들 레거. 문로 땡기 최 셈바당 무시 전주기 셈을 붙이 좀 와서 당문로 땡기 최시바들라다 처음에도 따정에 갈 레균데 왔다 되게 레인 거래. 되니 무시 전주기 셈 당문에 전주기 셈생인데 다랑 진진은 년부터 돼. 또 다랑 진진은 년부터 된다. 아니 진진기 파인 보다 되게 숨은 거라. 다디 시부지 내 전부 차대요. 다 삼바 센들이 놈이는 봐. 치와미다 봐. 술 삼바, 레균데 삼바, 그러니미 삼바 오스. 디니 존데 장주기 셈종기 par minam joanam기 값수 튠기 오다 튠삼기 나중 이수 쳐와라. 다 튠다 튠삼기 대치우지 게 전부 잡아래. 지나 튠기 값도다 다즉 왕복원부터 다나 제기 철 제당다 대소 강가 찍순고 알아. 오늘 튠기 값로다 이 튠기 값로 년가 때좀 전부요 말해. 다 소소 땅도라네 튠지기에서 또 생겨가 준 거리. 아니 캡진 남바니다 윤진 남바니다 아니 다직 여름 붙이다 내기 라마 체가도 수는 데가라 쪼쪼 직 장주기 셈종 제디가라 튠삼 갈라 내가 책을 했어. 튠삼 갈라서 배 저저 때리 체제 거래스. 튠근데 갈라 수수배 땅돌라니 지체 인자 kuchi kentea nyung yorwa twincham kapdula ta milape zimi jordan machu ndamire sheya dan ni cheya dan tan diung war dingdu tunsamde chida nenga chimborze sungdo
contemplation of the preliminary teachings. The text says, first train in the preliminaries. In the Tibetan text, it actually starts with the subtopics. It says, for the actual, meaning, there are two subtopic or subheadings. The first one is a preliminary teachings on preliminary, and then second is the actual teaching. And then for the preliminary teaching, now that's a translation in English. First train in the preliminaries. This involves contemplating the significance and rarity of life as a free and fortunate human being, contemplating impermanence and death, which leads to the realization that our lives can end at any time, and thinking about the causes and results of action and the vicious nature of cyclic existence. From these basic practices up to the training in the ultimate awakening mind, the practice can be divided into two: the actual meditation session and the period between sessions. The actual session is also divided into three: preparation, meditation, and behavior. So what we see at the beginning is the practice session divided into two stages, and one we call meditation session, and the another is in between sessions. His Holiness teachers, two teachers used to say that practitioners must be more careful actually during the in-between sessions, because in actual meditation session, practitioner is intentionally engaged in a very aware, active state of meditation. So he is himself kind of totally engaged, engrossed in the practice. So therefore, less distractions, less scattering or wandering of the mind. So, but in between session is the one that they needs to be more careful, because in between, when they are not actually engaged in the active meditation, it could kind of open up lots of kind of behavior or activities that could be negative. So therefore there should be more kind of the period between sessions becomes more crucial.
Tambola lama siling be number thapal de chungwal tar ni yen ten tramne mandal phude tenche mo sungyo gone soate be parki jurwe chusen tru sangwarja niba ngoji kapsu thomen ne tate tal thomen ne tatala thuke portu rang rare semgi jawang chendu songjing semjang nyumeng wanto song nyumeng ki khroe tsawale ngombar duche teta ki yen ki khroe dungal na so nyoma yinla ta sunjil la tele tote semla raw thobar jela jana jasar duching tangma chitar debajin dirunwe le sukirwa chakwela sidata tiri sungwar kanje tonda jibare jerumbuche bagene tenala samden sano wangyur gyabo jana yome ri wambuji tanegawe mi bakunen jusre ngazuta kumdi tembe jugu dara semde tanda sem nyumu tenwo donde tiorwa nyumu ba semge pombo de chiche semde nyumu be tenwo to chui chinde diore tanda ngazu sem jangin side tende tenwo ni thani semla rawang tabya semde ni pe chik go kol na kol debu chiya pe chik juba nirvochita ani kol debu susu kareji na mi pa kandish kya na ta tela deton to ko ota tindi chik jirum je bagi na sona je samden sem sindi wang pe riwang na je samden samro wangyur gyabu jana yume ri wamboji tangna gawe mi bakon jusa gawe mi bal juk de bochita kol de bochi oda tendeji pe semde tendeji chigi so oda dus chini ngacho jondar che tendi kiton dal chigi ore se sungwa ta tuna dedala kapkang ge kya mi pala kyangju mato jenkang wang yang dewi chugo wang do ma som par se chela se do oda te ching chik ngacho gom gyati gala ta gom se de komdi te ya ton tares chetunga de komdi te ya pe dibarje che ton tares sudo yarum sudo tin dugala ta gom gyati gala to chi 고파서데 또 율 샘디 치료를 주고 와래 대응의 율을 주고 와래 고파스 시엔데 샘 치료도 트레이닝 아니 샘 밤에 제디 독스진이 다 딜라 고파스 거래 아니 지와스디가라 즉샘 하장 루다니 아니 미남 파기 미바테시 율데 즉 야나 마차르와 차나 살포 마차르 도스체니 용고아리 아니 디디가라 즉 율치론도 트레이도 고백경 용도가라 즉 가레 셈파 파마르탄고레스 아니 아테 타발라 다이그 공부도 주주지데 냐와당 렌데기 나민드서 삼마당 냐웨 체제드서 삼마당 근데 집에나 즉 둔두고 꼴추고 동알 가서 되게 삼마다 바이나 셈토스 줌바키 거래 셈토스 고고밤이라 페이어래 땡고는 거네로 상이 맞아 지 시부진 삼거할때 상이 랩토에 겨와 치마데 강문들 랩토에 하고 말와 말아서 gün이 여 말와 집 가서 그래 그런 최티기 엄마와 답에 단신 슈첨보 예배가네 때 철지들로 마부지 철진 지기할 때 철지 때 나신진 대투야 예매대 하고예요 말 어떻게 인도가라 지금 고팔레 뛰가라 미다바도 삼다 아니 벨레균데 삼다 냐외 동알도 삼다 선토스 줌바킬레겨 디기톤다래 셈 줌발레나 아니 즉 고파뇽 용고아래 아니 셈 하장 줌라나 미남 마살와다 살장 직 살폼 살장 얼슈 매바다 텐데 용거래 대용도가라 다저니까 아니 사기기 리 상게야게 누바윤데니 아니 자주기 셈기 파인데서 삼다 도 세게나 직 셈바야 셈라 뽑발레거래 셈라 이 얼슈레거래 띵이 투그레 띵이그레 님 중들이 삼삼데 말이야 맞다 직 텐데 이 셈라 뽑발레거래 와다 되게 고 뒤서라 가래레기 띵오다 집에 가네 띵 갑도 레님부터 나시 와데 개침버려 그래서 오늘 개침버려 와다 뒤지 숨고하래
So the actual session is also divided into three. The first is preparation, and then meditation, and then behavior or the actual practice. Firstly, as the life story of Guru Dharmamathi of Sumatra shows, we should decorate the place, arrange representations of the three jewels, the Buddha, fully awakening being, his doctrine and spiritual community, offer a mandala representing the world system, and complete the 6 kinds of conduct up to the request that the 3 great purposes of self, others, and both shall be fulfilled. So preliminary, 6 actually limb practices or 6 branch practices. Secondly, during the actual meditation session, we should reflect that throughout beginningless time, we have been under the power of the mind, and the mind in turn has been overcome by disturbing emotions. These disturbing emotions are what have given rise to the actions that are the root of the cyclic existence. From these have arisen the various types of sufferings that we experience in the round of existence. To turn away from such tendencies, we must try to develop an independent, controlled, and workable mind that will stay where it is put or where it is sent. So, as mentioned here, independent, controlled, and workable mind. Lama Tsongkhapa, in his text, he talks about gaining the stability of one's mind. The karma by the meditation or single pointedness. Once you have gained that kind of ability, then you can have a complete control over your power. If you live at one place, the stability of your mind would be like a mountain, unable to move and disturb. And if you send it to directed towards creating a positive activities, then it can have a complete attention to it. So that kind of ability, as Lama Tsongkhapa mentioned, is talking same thing here. To acquire such a state of mind, it is necessary to focus on the specific subject of meditation without being distracted by either laxity or excitement, dullness or agitation. These meditations should follow the given order, and except for the training in the perfection of concentration, they are all analytical meditations. So here, laxity and excitement. Excitement or agitation is basically mind scattering away or wandering away, not able to focus, or we can say lack of kind of attention. And mental laxity or dullness is when mind becomes too kind of concentrated. It becomes either lost the object of visualization, or the object of visualization is not clear enough. So when there's a problem of mental agitation or excitement, basically one needs to be thinking about impermanence, cause and effect, suffering of lower realms like hell, animals, and really need to the mind becomes too excited, so you need to kind of tune down sort of the hyper activity of mind and bring it kind of hyper down. And when there's a too kind of much laxity or dullness, we need to be thinking about the preciousness of human rebirth, how difficult it is to attain the Buddha nature of our mind. Basically, you are making your mind more hyper, more active, more encouraged. so that it can focus and come to the right level. So in this practice of meditation, it is important to recognize the right moment of these two, whenever these two kind of arises, and then adopting right antidote.
Something you present like Lubeka Mato, the Tamji Jagom Shadaho, Siddhat, Chick Pagi Chick Shooting Zobata, take the Kanga Chazam, Manch Jagom Shajiris, something you present Lady Galatati, Jom Jacores, Sungur, that thing one. Chepe Chetarla, Tampo Samloda, Tampo Tubachakorava. Tubitendala, Samluda. Samludi, Samludan, some, the Samjung de Tujung the Samjung one like you. Samjung de Dinijini Gumjung one to Horwa. Chasam Yamato Jade. Samlu Gunime, any Tepame, Samlomena, any Gum Karja or Gum Kayaki Zamido. Tindugala, Tampo Checom the Shuji Ketchum Chepache. Chepache Chetartela. Any something that take a lot. Joy and Jom Sikore. On a womla, chick, Om de la, only Madaj Sugo. Shenam Gunta, Tonam Gunste. Tanda di Shenam Gona, Nijila Sobatene Gomyondula, Rangis and Nijimola. Johnny Pashua. Tikundana Buchi, Teddy House, Fusia, Indian Buchi. Chan do the Messana, any Chad main one to go on. Dina Jinji Rang is sending easy on a pan project. Anything other sense? Jashadi, Nishimari. Did I use Mare? What a Tenam Sidigala Mitapa. And Dame the way. Tongi to Bello, Tongi los battery wound there, any pay. It is the meanam to the pay. Sabu. Music you change it any pay, TV any pay. Did I reach it? What that be developed? Develop the number Suwa. What that those change? Ganga pay to Machikan, Chipachikan Chitana, whom such a woman, who won't be covered to the shape of one. Any Shagom the Homla, Shagom the Young, June the Lossi, any June victory, June Quati, Jeb, Ganalagate in Samatana, having Yala Duty, Chatangi, having Chita, Yala Duty, Tonta, Samutan, Samdana, you Shagom. Number Sangibi, Yamlin Chicken, not so. That metal mirror that Pagi Wombaja Shagore. Then I check on the huge kitchen Borzide, gives you number in the Tag or Muchella Soba. That money now paper Junchumo Zinung Gashing in Gina, check on the nature is a sudwa. The Imbatalam Denadua, Tuba maybe Gomchen the Ladum Talan Zabate, Zabada said the sudwa. The way is ready. And it Wom Halebi. Zalgi Newbatan to be a cavalry. Kanchi, Rang is Semdon de la Pagin Namye, Namje the Yabuchi, Namie Yabuchi in Gemma to be inna, and Omea Gizakra Mesonwa. What a thing to Gala, Chick Juntezo, Juntezo Qua Yabujilen, Deni, Chick Digi, Tonta the Lord Charwone, and it Tonta Tegala, something Zayatele, and it woman's a cajeti. She got mother, and I am what a thing. Sumban Junis, Zamboch Molam so, Molam number tapi, Deparchao. It Sulki, Ninsen, Tutu, Nyamson Lamarchao, Ninlen some Selens, some Segortat, Tuntu Siata, take a shield. Tunsam Namsu, one big water. Chick, tap, chick. Magi, Pagi, Makala Soba Tegiti, 이게 다 납선을 서봐 되게 딜레마죠. 왕보고 남자 시신도 제 제기 처리 버자고 어때 개침벌이 아주 칼라진도 유체 때 톱체 때 라도 사다야 말해 제기 처리 버자고서 좀 된데 시부 숭여래 대나니 람준조 딱 오늘 로종 채탐보 적인 거에 니바 로종은 니바 된 통인지나 니조 가가르지만 때마다 주로 가서리 즉 파기 루이 하장 게소나 자설 소바 예알 인가 여인상 즉 된리진에니 배 주로 가서 까바낭도와 왔다 되게 지그리 아니 제이 카는 데미자이나 오메야 카파자서 지금 왕도 전에 니기당 된리기 기병도 루베 마데베자니 된리요 인가 된리 제기 처리 버자오스 미녀에 나절라 전신 냐베치 기타르 자와남 지네 달라 통기 저베 값이 시버자고 서다 냐르뒤가라 네 저바 싱게 냐르답지네 두스지네 로예 바바 디가 리키 사이 시거래 리키 사데 라요 요마데게 두스네 두스체베이나 양치 니람 미투야나 오다 텐데게 켜버려요 데 냐르베체 가르자어서 냐베체 냐르타 냐르루데 두스레 에네 삼로타야데 페 미지베 케침보리 직 ngaranzo nilote gala 직 굴론 차소다 젤란 렌셈다 데니 니 차상 미그는 차도 거래 굴론 펜바당 아니 직 소수 젠기 던지가 루이드 고고아래 루이데 데보 상부지와라 니 고고아래 루이라 퀴야 고고아래 에 칼라 뒤스라 에 주저지 사고 거래 대인들 주저는 체 만나나 직 강할래요 대인들가 직 퀴다 직직 되니 루지 종달 차 디지 아니 감세도 가서 뒤로 거 면세다 가서 뒤쪽을 갈아서야 되죠 대숨데 lui 얘가 또 유숨을 자고래 주자니 숨도 수제네 배 그래서 이게 좀 유자고는 자자에나 인제나라 몸바저나라 근데 누가 lui 오늘 아버지가 말을 텐지 구고하라 왔다때 lui 아버지면 심진 텐체 투야 거래요 말아 자메 유리는 장주세가 근데 자메 유리 남게니나 알아서 남기 말해 왔다 텐디 이거라 bejoke yomarwa manana oda tindi indugala chik oda ti zo chik sungore oda molamde ya muada molamde ke 전부 차고래 토당이라 자와니 인스데 로전 든디면에 열에 토당이라 자와니 인스데가라 당보 펜섬 야부 쉽겠네 아니 군웅 야부 줘야 돼 자와지리 토미 자와들이 주 모아제데 주기 자와들이 모아제나 가려래 말아서 계속 가 제바데 공전 전부가 말해 그 마도 모아 마치베 계속 다 시럽기 짐베 계속 있나 모아 마치베 계속 좀 투야 가버리 이시기 속이 계속도 좀 말해서 순거래 대마도 선음기 속이 계속 모아 마치베 계속 kalpatondu sabe gazada kondu kechi chikin jungri se sungdwa kalpa ye gazada kalpatong gaza se yara kalpa ye gaza se yade janju seba nang phan junji janju seba tendiki chona janju seba inata chik ko ugon fa indi janju seba cholam batazo tugilo kondu yeyerowa tezo chwa ina tendiki gaza jungore ngaran zo le tangbo wa zonde jigi eni kondu za ina dindewa ngoza ngwa majebe gazade kalpa tongdu sabe gazajena kondu keji chikin jomdu kwa wada tigide kepar chiksun kwa ti indugala 토다니라 자와니데 게 전부 차버려 뒤서서 로고미데 자잖아
These meditations should follow the given order, and except for the training in the perfection of concentration, they are all analytical meditations. End of first paragraph on page 20. So Among the six practice of perfections, it says, except during the perfection of concentrations, meditation in all others are analytical meditation. But this kind of, analytical meditation eventually, analytical meditation should be leading to meditation of concentration or single pointedness. So in meditation, we begin with the process of listening or hearing or studying, and then whatever wisdom, knowledge that we gain from hearing, we put that into understanding the meaning of what you have listened, and then wisdom that we gain from understanding the meaning finally apply to the practice of meditation. And through analysis, it should be, as mentioned before, coming to the practice of single-pointed or concentration. And generally in meditation, as you know, there are many different ways of doing a meditation. Meditation such as meditation of aspect of consciousness or mind meditation. In that kind of meditation, it's meditating in such a way that where your mind becomes same nature of the same nature as the target, whatever to your meditation. So under this comes the meditation on compassion, love, promoting, developing positive qualities of mind. And Kundara Rinpoche used the example of turning, when you burn a metal kind of ball in a fire, metal ball eventually becomes sort of one with the fire. You cannot differentiate between the ball from a fire. It becomes a one. So likewise in meditation of such as compassion, we meditate, and then eventually compassion becomes your mind. And then there are other meditation of kind of more aspect on meaning, such as meditation on impermanence, emptiness, where you meditate intentionally kind of keeping the separation between subject and object. There's no keeping the gap and distances, unlike the first one. And there are meditation of kind of reflections, such as when we recite for recitation, the 100 deities of heaven, we recite the prayers, and while reciting, we reflect on the meaning of the all in the recitations, and then single-pointedly kind of following the meaning. And that's the meditation, another way of doing meditation. So it is important to know these different types of meditation, and then kind of following what needs to be done. Otherwise, if you don't know, then whatever meditation that you do, it won't be so effective. And especially among the meditation, it is crucial to know and understand the practice of analytical meditation, and because with analyzing, with analysis or examination, we study and we learn. And then whatever we learn, eventually we kind of focused on that and stay single-pointedness or concentration. So, such as we see expression like without study or understanding the meditation in a retreat would be like climbing a rock without fingers. So, meditation without any understanding and analysis would be kind of meditation without any sort of meaning. Thirdly, in conclusion, we should make a perfect prayers, such as the prayer of good conduct and so forth. We should practice in this way 3 times during the day and 3 times during the night. So 3 times, it becomes a kind of 6 sessions practice. That's what we call 6-session practice. During meditation sessions, the senses should be controlled, mental alertness and introspection maintained, and a balanced diet observed. So these are the things that one must follow during actual session of meditations. Buddha has emphasized the importance of proper diet for monks, and unless one is seriously engaged in a study or practice. Otherwise, for general monk, there was advice not to have dinner, because that will otherwise have a negative impact on sleeping fast and not able to stay alert and fresh. And at the time of sleeping, also there's a posture, the lying posture, maintaining proper postures during sleep. Right hand below, open palm below your face, and there is a special significance. And even during going to bed, with the proper intention, because intention can sort of determine what positive and negative sleep would be. Going to sleep with good intention, can have a positive sleep, and going to sleep with a negative intention of attachment, anger, hatred can transform your entire sleep into a negative kind of activity. And so gejungi sumla de shila kharagar sum betangi la shila so on the sum kharagar la tu cha ni sum khala de maro ne khala yo mare
zo khana za ngi yo ma ati duwe na da khala de 강좀 가요. 강중나. 이 하장 예잖아요. 연 차소지에 내가 요즘 가고.
So for the maintenance and survival, or further kind of have a better physical being, in the text like Treatise of Knowledge, it talks about three kind of entities, that includes taking shower, like hygiene, and then physical kind of exercises or training, and then finally sleeping. So these three are considered as something that is required for the physical health. And then, as it says here, prayer, and dedication at the end make up perfect prayers, such as prayer of good conduct. So in the 7-point mind training, we 7-point mind training, we see two kind of activities, one at the beginning and one at the end. So at the beginning, it is the generation of positive intention, and then at the end, concluding with the dedication prayers. And so these are, the important, the dedication especially, because as you know, without dedicating positive merits that we have accumulated, especially the not the wisdom but merit. Without dedication, it can be destroyed by later, negative emotions such as hatred or anger. One moment of hatred can destroy, positive merits that has been accumulated for 1,000 years for ordinary people. And then it also talks about text, it also talks about 100 eons of positive merits get destroyed by one moment of hatred. This is among the bodhisattvas, those who have altruistic mind or awakening mind. And this kind of, having a hatred for kind of a short moment probably won't have in the high level of bodhisattvas, but this can happen at the path of preparation, path of accumulations level of bodhisattvas.
유 파바 토메기 수베 달달도 자오 세대다 냐디 싱기냐 답져야 돼 개치 뭐지나 오다도 쓰네 다 다저 에 가사 다 미콤 예다다 디기디 다저 추추디 추추게디 온 통용고도 다들 이제 맞을 규지.
During meditation sessions, the senses should be controlled, mental alertness and introspection maintained, and the balance side observed. I think I've read that before. Efforts should be made to become an unsleeping yogi, and you should know how to use the period of sleep to develop calm abiding and special insight as taught by the exalted Asanga. And after this comes the 8 leisures and 10 endowments of the human being. So we will continue this with the next teaching. We'll stop here for today. You can ask questions if you have.
그상 밖에 이 랑동다 전동세지도아 이 랑동세에 일교설 쉐브 가더라 랑동 전동 같이 쉐바 있나다 마다바 임바다 서부도시 가르자나티 배 누르기와다 세상 누르기와다 계속해서 말해 루버가 유게다 이 포기 솔답지어레스 윤답지 윤답나라 미자 자동 능거르데 그래서 되나마서 윤답되나라 디어레 율난동 춘이 란당레 진코르메 지진 밀라라 부무케 소wen 소완데 람포와 종아 징기로 그래서 송여레스 근데 율난동 춘이 란당레 세디가 율기 어설데 직하게 춘이기란다 다 춘이제나 대진이 동반이 나란주 나와서도 머르바 돈데겐 딜레시고래 기드 란동 율기 어설데 란동레스 중도 마도 디가로지 전동시야가 감미도스 지즈밀레 무치다 원이 냠뇽도는 중고로 봐 된두가라 지게 짐밀라 제베도제라 포에 솔답주디가라 된디 중도스 된디게 디 야르무제 nem보지는 중구도데 디고니 다가랑 인사레스
가르쳐 먹으시려고.
율기어설 쉐베 갑들라 란동마도 전동기니 아마레스 세징인도이 공바탈레 온도가라 다 야르무제 공 전동체베 갑지 어레스 다디 그상 주야데 그마도 배 갑망보다 여서마레
율랑동 하는 단지.
율춘이 란다 야 율춘이 란다 그래서 율춘이 란다 자랑도 셔게 말해 좀 거기 지면 야 양주스
So this was referring to the question, I think, that verse you asked about Rangdong and Shandong self, and he said he was, one of his regular recitation that he does is guide you, the transmissions of consciousness, and in that there's an appreciation to Milarepa. In that there's a verse in which he talks about.
율나동 춘이 란당레 딩코르메지 쯤밀라라 율나동 춘이 란당레
디가르 게실 드셔간 데스케.
지자 율기 어설데 디지들라 고 란동 율코랑원에 즉 덴버트베 동아인데니 나술타도 마주베 인데겐 디까지시기 어레스
So in that recitation, there's a words, the verses which it reads like. The lack of appearance of the object, which is the nature of like emptiness, the radiance of the. This verse in which was saying that it kind of reconfirmed what he mentioned before when he talks about self emptiness. Rangtong has related only with the subjective clear light or clear light of subject, subject, not the object. So he was just kind of reconfirming what he said was true. Any questions? Yeah. Oh, you have a question?
Well, I had a question for yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I understand the difference between conditioned phenomena and unconditioned. How can that?
Conditioned phenomena and unconditioned. Le duje da dumiche la shoro. Kesa ne chiwainsa. Kesa sende duje da dumiche dumiche ba da duche ba le.
다 뒤제 집에 유행이 뒤제 봐. 유행 나서 날 때는 좀 되긴지나 뒤제시 오래. 아 랑게 차트만 뒤봐 지라. 에나 델은 뒤제시. 뒤마체시디가라 남칼랑고 다 남카단 때니 되기도 유행 뒤제 받아 말와. 그 테스트 된저지니 자주르마도 유행 매아 말해. 어떻게 인도가라 제 뉴마체스 유견라 말테 봐. 아니 좀 되긴지라 뉴마체스 샤고레스. 두신체 봐. 유견 나솔은 두신체 봐. 랑게 차트만 디베. 단에 주라바즈니나 주존레지나 주라발라 만탈 두지 겐두고도. 시발레시비 윤다 땡기 망고진 쪽으로와.
Conditioned and unconditioned. Conditioned, the Tibetan word is duche, which actually means sometimes translated as a collected phenomena, which basically refers to the whatever things and phenomena that is the result of causes and factors and conditions. So they came into existence because of causes, factors, and conditions, and so this has to be, for example, even the smallest atomic particles in Buddhism has to be the combinations of 8, what we call, 8 entities, 8, and for consciousness there has to be a collectiveness of the continuum of consciousness. But unconditioned refers to phenomena or things. For their existence, it doesn't necessarily has to be depending upon causes and factors, such as we usually use the example of like sky or space. They exist, but for their existence, it doesn't has to be relying upon causes and factors and conditions, just like the conditioned things or phenomena.
Sky is still a condition.
Namkala de duje maruelo. You're asking about how
is it conditioned?
Well,
the atmosphere. You're talking about the atmosphere. The sky is the atmosphere, and it's based on the gravity of the Earth. It's keeping an atmosphere on the planet, so it's a conditioned phenomenon. Wouldn't something like
what is sky? What is space?
Sky.
What is space?
Sky is the atmosphere that's above us.
So that's
space is just a continuum of the sky. Eventually, the gravity becomes less and less, and then you're in space. But the sky is dependent on the gravity of the Earth.
So, Korangla then Tserik Ton Shedan Namkada Jigyora, Parjada Tonjadan Zendi, Segi Kalota, Shukjora, Digi, Dilla Ral, and the Guyama, which will rally or Maruelo.
남카긴 돈 유견을 알래 버래. 이까지 봐래. 남카파란 말에.
Koran Kitchen, Namkalan Karilla Goland.
남카는 결혼 와서 유마지기 남카가 유지 남카는 니자고. 유지기 남카 소리지나 간디. 남카 랭가 따바들 랭가 따바다. 랭가 메리 타바지 니자고 랭가 타바스인데 다 캄페남 가다 분배남 갈아서봐 랭가 타바 이 남가 코너는 주도 대침 그런 거는 주도 대침 말하는데 분배나를 주로 분배나를 지지가 남가고 춤 누구 한테 분배기 제레기 돈이 춤을 침바는 거라 남가 그런 거는 춤을 침배까지 시켜 자 대인들가 랭가를 다 봤을 자고 남가다 캄페남 갈아 서봐 캄파 군 주도 누구 갈아 남가 티 동자들은 주도 누구 알아 단 비마징이 남가서 남가 뺐게 동상대 때 시키고 말마다 너그 남가데 남게 너지도 와 아주 나야게 너지 남게 너들아 그 말대 나야 너지도 와 비 남가 말에 디 쉰다는데 쉰다야 보네 그다 지 세상지라 지겨다 디 쉰다 남가를 보는 이 쉰다들 마다데 남게 단지도 장 말에 남가 세대 동상 보는 데까지 들어
I don't know, space and sky is same or not, so I'm not sure what I know, but
It's a continuum. I mean, the sky is composed of atoms of nitrogen and oxygen and these trace things, but it's all kept in the atmosphere by the gravity of the Earth. So it seems like it would be a dependent phenomenon.
so I think here Geshe is saying, it depends on how we interpret sky and what is sky, the identity of sky. And sky or space in Buddhism, it is defined as simply kind of, literally kind of emptiness, being empty, without kind of nothing in there. But if you talk about the color and how it appears to us, that color or that we think space is not actually a space. It's not a sky. It's a merely reflection or the combination of different things. That could be conditioned. So when we talk about like a permanent thing, sometimes we find the permanent things categorized into temporary permanent, which is like sky or space inside a house or inside a vase or a pot. Those are sky, but if you fill it up, it is no more there. Unlike the unconditioned space or sky. Sure.
If our minds, our ability to perceive and to think and understand things is conditional, can we even comprehend what something, an unconditional phenomenon is?
Can you say it again? Our mind to condition, and then how can we?
The way we perceive and understand is conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the nature of how our mind
Mm-hmm.
understands.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible we just can't really understand the concept of an unconditional?
먼저게 셈다 셈게 도야 되는 상마랑시 두미체 라오레다 책다다 되게면 하시티 인디 자말에는 간저게 셈게 갈아오레 두체 인디 자말에는 두미체 되는 좀 아주 셈게 도야다 하고야 되는 줄로 개발도 두고래 라고서
셈대가 유제라 유제 셈나라 파게 셈 시비가라 빠져 소비 미차니 셈스도 이니가라 티니 다 셈라 콜라 셈중 셰럽 용으로 셰럽 기타페 링인지야가 아니 페 아기 남칼로 서바티리 지 유제 리마제 이바카 제데 셰럽 인지기요
the mind in a sense a condition is composed of different mental factors, emotions, and one of them is what we call wisdom or intelligence, and the wisdom and intelligence does kind of actually recognizing or identifying or understanding or cognition, and everything is just by wisdom. Any color mrangi joy there's a sim du chedo is na du me jiwe du me chege rang shi she den del ke kale yo mare lo ta ji she to gure do
대대 시트도 대대 미틀이에요 말 대대 그거 말잖아 베나 사기 캠비 이 시대야 시바르디 이게다 유승의 증거
mind being a condition, but it can understand, unconditioned or non-conditioned, things. Because that can happen totally, such as the mind of enlightenment. We call it omniscient mind, and although it is a consciousness mind condition, but it is considered that it has the ability to understand everything.
Example of an unconditioned phenomenon.
First of all, there could be different translations for this in the Tibetan word, so maybe we are just not clear on the word.
I think using conceptual and unconditioned in the same sentence is probably a big mistake. Because you don't conceptualize an unconditional phenomenon. Not really. Can I, and if you are, let's say a really high-level practitioner is doing generation stage practice where he's visualizing himself as Chenrezig. And let's say another very high-level practitioner sees him performing, engaging in his generation practice, and sees him with 4 arms. Okay? That's unconditional, it seems like. Because
that's
an unconditional phenomenon.
we have a different meaning of unconditional here than what you are saying is.
It's a different meaning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why it is unconditional?
Why is it unconditional? Because it's not happening really conceptually. It's happening in a different space of mind, it seems like. It's not like I'm growing 4 arms, or somebody, some great practitioner is growing an extra set of arms. This is like a visualization, and visualization is designed to try to get beyond concepts. Visualization helps you so that you don't have to think, so you don't have to use your mind as a conceptual tool. Your mind can also perceive beyond concepts, and that's what generation stage practice seems like it is.
The Quran ge laj na that sik the takda kanam yung also conceptualize the idea or tachigi namdo la or takanda. Just quick question: is conceptual thoughts and non-conceptual thought or misconceptual thought same to you?
Conceptual thought and non-conceptual thought are
Misconceptual thought.
Misconceptual thought is wrong.
Is conceptualization it's equal to thought?
Conceptualization is equal to everyday type thought.
Okay, that's good. That's what I need to know.
Yeah. I mean,
And the Quran,
everybody, we all think in concepts.
Okay.
I mean, that's what we've been doing for.
The Quran ge kishe de khana derse nam yung anju samlut khore joro. Samlut khore di da any du miche balai di dinyam du jan ke jishna ta da de min du ro lo to. The Quran pe ro de che de pe shna nyamne ching to ji jeren si kum du chambal da cha shi de cha sang kum du chambal and di Quran ge khodan da Quran samdan da na any di du miche bare sha sa. Di indi zama da nga to ni kirim da ne kum du chambal handi ngel zam da nge lal Quran de chik zam du che du meche la de inchi tol chi yorwa di Quran ko alen da khalen go sa rele ta di
그래서 인지들 와다 다다 이거 말고 이 맞아 가르쳐 그래 제리즈 곰사다 곰네 지디가라 디 미제바 인상 균이 용세요 말와 솔직히 용게 용아지가 레고 물어 다고 거기 단다디 까지 시에는데 갈라 아주 빼나 에 뒤미제 바데 뒤제도 니마지 뭔가 차리요래 빼뜨간 무슨 가와래 뭔가 인디 갈라 빼나 뭔가데 지디 많이 바하고는 지디 지디 임바다 학고 용들라 지디 많이 받다 흉나 학고로다 무슈게 학고도 아때 뭐도 로사메야 돼 나온 기도 문바메야 돼 세부 차르고도 시강나 나와서 시대나 문바 대소리지래 고 뒤신 제바 많이 바지 뒤시 제바지 인친절라 디 니마지 많이 바래 니마지 인친절라 뒤시 제바 많이 바 인세고 거니 뭔가 걸두르도
티트네 게실라 라이도 콜라 랭 칸데스 투고
라
테 콜라 랭 칸데스 투고래
간데세
게실라 뒤시에도 디모체 gelaware 라이데
세상 디
코글 하 곰제 좀 알베치나 게림 컵도 제레스 곰제 좀 차시 다든데 곰제 좀 볼 곰게 디응외네게 개고제 디요 말어서 콜 칼로고를 랑신기 차르용엘라고를 랑신기 디콜라 그 게림게 디 인도 좀 볼 아니 베데도 제 샤스타 디로 코랑기 칼로고를 두마체 코 도스 코알레나 지기도로 코랑 코알레나
디 거기 제르지 답에 둔지를 지나서 삼단 거와
게림 갈로도 나 게림 갈
나기 게림이나다 당부 둔지의 삼단인 둔지들 사람 통고고라 지나 가서 고된 딱바르데 고된 가서 토무치 차거와 뉴마지 깡가 뉴마지 가서 그래 아주 노찬 치거와 노찬 체지 그지 시거와
도전 체는 하신 게 쉬우도 고쳐 맞을 거라게
아이
근데 쉬우도 고쳐 맞으면 도전 체기라도 고된 토브론 relate 거기 랭 칸데스 랜들 칸데스 되어요 거기 저들 칸데스 되어요
이담 곰디디 제레지다타 티조 곰용디갈라타티 뉴마지를 간스
그런 지성 그런 데 디마실 간 So I was asking the question that I asked you, how do you consider, like generation stage of generosity as unconditioned? How, what's your reason? How?
Unconditioned.
Why is it as unconditioned?
Why is it unconditioned? Because it's
How it is becoming unconditioned?
because it's it has no it's not it doesn't seem like it's dependent. It doesn't seem like it has interdependence on anything.
결국 저 파주 직질 땐데와 이렇게 땜고로 통도사 땐진 대화 나오라 땐데지 미고지 통도사 고라랑 신기 ngangi. So he's just asking, are you about? So he's asking, if it is independently arising without any effort, then what is the purpose of meditation? Why do you need to meditate at all?
That's a good question.
So there's no purpose, it comes automatically. So why do you call it meditation?
Can you give us an example of
텐중세야 돼 지금
unconditional?
텐중세야 되거라 차다 찾을 때는 앞에 텐중지 미경 따여서 텐중지 단단히 미경 따여서 텐중이 되거라 민삼지기 별 온갖 때가 됐던 고추고 알아 온던데 짱두고 알아.
So when you say bring that interdependent, not lack of interdependent, or the interdependent, as you know, there are many different understanding of that. Different parts and the major body, interdependence of simply designation or imputation. But so I guess Kisha was asking how it is becoming not interdependent, because it is dependent on something, therefore it become what it is. generation stage or whatever that you call.
Uh-huh.
So without depending on anything, how can it be what you are saying?
제리스 오면 그가 셈라 지들이 레기도 레기미스.
So
그래서 방금이지 현지 전에 연구하러 현지 기능면은 제리스 오면 셈라 지들이야 그런 영화입니다.
because of some factors and conditions, by meditating on or of generosity, there's benefits from it, maybe calmness or serenity or peacefulness, and because there is kind of interaction going on, and there's interdependency, there's some effectiveness, there's that interconnectedness. That's why there's that kind of interaction, or just without depending or without connected to, without any kind of, if it is just kind of autonomic thing, it won't have that kind of effect.
So space is really the only thing that you can give as an example of unconditioned phenomena.
남과 저보로 패션 바샤 요래서 두미체 두미체라 두마체
남가지 당 다들 먼저 진이주나 남가지 세우자요. 아니 지체는 남 다들 도착이 지니 답은 먹으셔야 그래서 다 인지는데 유기는 다다 되기는 미시
배자시나
지대제라 랑도는 답아이나 거 와들 랑도는 답아이나 거 그때 다다 기나 떤다 투두고에 나가래나 미시와 생이 전체들 지대제라 가와던 데와라서 저다 비치는 지생이 있는 게 다다 있는 지생이 있는 게 제발 쳐서 이제 손을 좀다 진짜가
there are other example that we find in the study or text of the logic study, and in those it used the Geshe saying whether the translation can have give you actual understanding or not, but what we call kind of reverse identity or isolated identity of the same thing. We talks about general and particular, the reverse identity of these two, the reverse identity of cessation. So they are kind of those are the vocabulary or concept that we find in the logic, which we use for the example of unconditioned phenomena. But and if the so this reverse identity, although exists a phenomena, but this doesn't has to be necessarily a permanent thing. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, we're even there because I don't know what you're saying.
가르쳐 도다가 찰라고요. 도다가 찰라야 되는 거 뭐죠?
다다지 도차세 도차데 그린 집에 유민도 인지는 찍고라 있어 말해. 도차세 정말 좀 진이 주나 도차세 좀 지어 봐. 유민도 인지에 인지는 진이 주 지여서 말해. 그 지면나가 제약으로는 진짜 이런 말.
직다 타대 가르치는 거 계시단 게 독차래 독차면 되는 거 가래 조다가 잘 조다래도 가래 조다 원래 남기 조다라서 어디 차대 가래 딱 말했어 지찬을 사바다 바다 저 지지래
지다 타대 지다 타대 가와단 대화세디 지지와 그 지들 나도 맞다 인력이 조다게 차도 딱 봐야지 인력이 다시 차도 딱 봐야지 아데 너다게 차 세디가라 인지는 지기야 이래내면 가지 못
조다가 차 튼다고 하려고 따샤바 다가란 딜라고 그래. 딱 원래 조다가 따 명타가란 거고 그래. 지금
지나 따봐 있는 거 말했어. 세부적인 거야. 민사는 난 지는 주고는 지대 양목으로 이렇게 되어.
그 안 되시네. So it was talking about the
맞아요. 맞아. 진이 주는 진짜 진짜 제야 돼. 지 먹고 싶대. 맞아. 인지나 라그어서
말이야. There are many, time is way up. There are many, concepts in study of Buddhist logic where we use particular, general, single, many, and the imputation or designation that we use for these things, the part that is being imputed is considered as unconditioned. But it doesn't necessarily has to be permanent. So there are a lot of subtleties of logic, logical understanding. And Geshe-la was saying that maybe it cannot be able to kind of translate in English the concept, or maybe I don't know would. But tubdenji mo soya 가지는 것이 되게 인지 tubdenji mo 그러는 게 식등이 하고 마서 그러는 게 소야지나 벽에 낭로라 낭주 슝 가려야 돼 인지 낭로 겨마도 왜게 인지 깨라 네바 매바 말이 네바 요래라고 그래. 나도 인지도 줄토 그래라고 그러. 얘는 그냥 하고 마서 다 가르쳐 독자다 독바다 요르겨 요래. 얘는 식되기다 고아 낭백 나셔 고아 이메디 가지고 됐다죠. So now I'm debating with sort of Geshe-la. And I was saying there is that there is a vocabulary in the English what there should be a vocabulary, and I was saying that Tubten Jinpa was saying, His Holiness Translator was saying that English language is sufficient enough to translate Buddhist all terminology. But the question is, even if there's a translated word, whether that translated word has the ability to bring the concept that is in Buddhism or not, that is a question. So that could, although that is supposed to be mean what translates when they're translated, but the reader with their own kind of all backgrounds, information, understanding, knowledge, that word might not mean the same thing that it has a meaning in Buddhism, So he was saying, if that is the case, the translated in English, there's a vocabulary and word, but if that vocabulary is not giving you the meaning that is in Tibetan, then the whole purpose of translation is not, kind of accomplished. Unlike in Sanskrit to Tibetan, when we see a word in Tibetan translated from Sanskrit, that Tibetan word, although it is not Tibetan, but it has a meaning that is exactly the same in Sanskrit. So the translation actually worked in that case. But in English, if the case is there's a translation, but if it is not giving you the right concept, right understanding, then it doesn't help other than kind of making a lot of pages.
That dependent phenomena and or conditioned phenomena and interdependent phenomena are the same thing. Conditioned phenomena.
Too much ducheda the tenjung dige the kuaji baro kona digore lagdo.
tenjung ina duje ingo marda too much tenjung.
So it's again there's a what we call the possibilities. If a thing or entity is dependent arising or interdependent, it could be conditioned phenomena.
It could be
It could be unconditional. It could be unconditional phenomena. Do you hear the much? The Korangi dumache chorwa, dumache inchorwa asa. The dumache na tenjung ina duje dumache niga na dumache ke tenjung khare do shawre lo. Dumache la khare. Duje incho mare la or tenjung na. Tenjung na dumache re lo gesho. Mar Korangi tenjung da dumache gesho la nda musha be de paral. Khares musum shay. Musum khares shay. I'm debating. So I'm asking about the different possibilities that we use in Tibetan Buddhist logic. So he is saying could be three possibilities. There is something that could be none, there could be neither. It's not dependent arising. It could be not conditioned phenomena. The karsha, duje mayimba tenju mayimba. So you're saying something that doesn't exist. Something that exists doesn't exist. Typically, we find an example like a rabbit horn.
Okay.
It's the flower of the sky.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. So it could, those are the things we can say. Neither condition, no unconditioned, nor
Yeah, but they're
independent.
non-existent.
There's a yohor maro asa. So you're saying that's the reason why we use those examples, because it is.
What was the original question, please?
The differences, I didn't understand.
Between conditioned and unconditioned.
I
phenomena.
can't conceive of what an example of an unconditioned phenomenon would be, because everything to me seems to have
So you didn't understand the conditional and non-conditional,
Yeah.
and then where this says
Kuran's namo koede ma koede Kuran Muran koede thangbo koran duje dumaje Kuran de komen kuma sonsa. Duje dumaje nande gyugen che maje de mache sha yo maro. Condition and unconditioned, or the another translation is compounded. I think there could be another translation. Basically, in Tibetan, the condition or compounded phenomena refers to whatever things that is the result of causes and conditions
Sure.
for its existence. So that is condition. And unconditioned is things for its existence. It doesn't need to be depending on causes and factors. So for that, Geshe-la used an example of sky or space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's one example.
Uh-huh.
I
Then
can see how space could be unconditioned phenomena.
the Korang di mayimbe pe shimba yo marelo da namga mayimbe pe shimba duma chela. The zamshana mari tisu shoes to bosom lot. Thank you for torturing me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Korwe shingam de penda newa malu jongwe ne jere singwa denzin gyozu shawe site batu thank Jambe bawe jidra kemba ndang kondo sangbo de yan de jin de tela gunge je sonda lo jen gyawa de da tamje rat te sum sheben gyawa tamje ge ngo wa kang la cho dong a ba den da shen ge we za wa de gun ja sangbo chen ji ra do ngo wa ra. And in the circle of snow white mountains, and the source of all happiness and benefits, flows in a person charity turns in Gyatso, and into samsara hands. Just as the Bodhisattva usually attain omniscience and summoned about her to so now to educate these merits, to train and follow in their footsteps. As all the victorious Buddhas are past, present, and future, praise, dedication to the Supreme, so now to educate these merits for all beings.